Welcome back, guys, to Ace Attorney Investigations 2, Prosecutors Gambit, where last episode, with Edgeworth having been thrown off the case and out of the prison, we have found our way, very obviously, back inside, thanks to becoming an associate of Eddie Fender, the defense attorney who works for, well, owns now, Edgeworth & Co. Miles is his father's old law firm. Now on the side of defense, we have checked out the entire area and asked this guy what he knows as we look to get some more information about the murder itself. About the person who found the body, do you happen to know where he is right now? Should be in one of the workshops, I guess. Usually is at this hour. I was expecting to get more information than you from that because you heard the scream. And it seems the workshops are our next port of call. Yes, the impossible scream, of course. But still, I thought you'd have more information and more talking than that. Well, we've talked to absolutely everyone here, so let's go into the workshop. Hello? Anybody in there? Nice try, kiddo, but this isn't a bathroom stall. Yo, you there. Could you help us out here, my good man? Yes, sir. What can I do for you? Is somebody using this workshop right now? Yes, sir. One of the prisoners is in there. Just confirmed it myself during the noontime roll call. We'd like to speak to this person if that's alright. Sure, I'll go fetch him right now. Won't take a sec. Can we just go in there? I think that would be easier for us. This one's all yours, Milesy boy. What? Why? Let's just say I'd rather not roll the dice on someone I don't know, yeah? Huh, and I thought adults were all supposed to be strong and brave. Yeah, well, you're not looking so brave yourself right now, so let's call it even. Here they come. Hello, hello. Yes, hello. I hear you wish to speak with me. Not exactly the hardened criminal we were expecting, is he? My name is Miles Edgeworth. I'm a public prosecutor. A prosecutor, you say? Eddie Fender, attorney at law. What happened to being too scared to handle this? Because he looks wimpy and not buff and wanting to punch us out? Listen, sorry about my pal here. He gets the weirdest ideas. Prosecutor indeed. That'll be the day. He's actually just an associate. Jeez, Miles, get a grip, will ya? He's right. I mustn't forget that I'm a defense attorney's assistant for the time being. Oh, that explains it. I did think he looked a little different from the prosecutor I spoke with yesterday. So he's already spoken to Winner. Would you mind answering a few questions? No, of course not. I'd be delighted. The name's Sahwit. Frank Sahwit. The witness is all yours, my young associate. Sure, have the intern do anything, why not? Mr. Sahwit, you are no doubt aware that a murder took place yesterday. Would you mind telling us where you were at the time the body was found? Yes, I was in that workshop there, working as one might expect. What kind of work were you doing? Well, I'm actually retraining at the moment. I'm hoping to become a stylist, you see. A pet stylist, that is, yes. So I've been studying hard and practicing every moment I can. An unusual field of study befitting an unusual prison, I suppose. And that's it. I certainly didn't see anything. Despite what your name is. Interesting. I barely asked him anything at all, and he's already sweating bullets. So, yes, I'm afraid I won't be able to help you. Sorry. Hold it! No, I'm the one who's sorry, Mr. Sahwit. But this interview has only just begun. I mean, even if you would have asked me, you know something, don't you? He's definitely hiding something. I'll need to push him a little harder if I'm to get any answers. The first step is to analyze the situation. Let's take a look at our opponent. 3 pieces? I didn't see anything. I really can't help you, I'm afraid. Something tells me he'd be a good poker player. It's hard to tell much at all from his face. And I don't think he'll be giving me much in the way of physical cues either. Because it's constantly on the move. I'll have to rely solely on his words instead. That's the only way I'll know what's going on underneath. Uh-oh. If it was just body language, I thought this would be quite easy. Now we're going on to actually having to look through the words. That's going to eat time. Alright, time to make my first move. Let's see who we're dealing with here. He may be good at hiding his emotions, but everyone has a tell. And our first thing should just be choices, right? Either or. What's your connection to this incident? Tell me, what's your connection to this incident? Which incident? The murder? Oh, well, it has nothing at all to do with me. Nothing. Really? I would dream of getting involved in anything as ghastly as that. Well, you see, how can I put this? I like to think of myself as an upstanding citizen. A good person, if you will. A good person who's in prison. Forgive me, Mr. Sword, but under normal circumstances, good people do not tend to end up in prison. So you do well to tell me what you know about the incident. How many times do I have to tell you people? I don't know anything, I swear. I'll wait. Because he was getting angry in his voice. Versus, his sentence. Versus a body language cue. Sorry, I don't know what more to say, but I can't help you. My apologies, Mr. Sword. But considering that the incident occurred right here in the prison, I find it very hard to believe that you know nothing at all. Oh, well, yes, I suppose I can see how it might seem unlikely, but it's true. If you're looking for the person who found the body, you'll have to look elsewhere. The person who found the body, you say? Why do you think I'm looking for the person who found the body? I certainly never mentioned any such thing to you. Is it because you do know something you're not telling me after all? No, I just sense that's who you might be looking for, that's all. I mean, to be fair on the statement, yes, we may have not said anything, but basically, he's already been questioned by the prosecution, right? So he knows his role in this, so why wouldn't he say stuff? It's kind of one of them. We're trying to, catch him out with his statement saying, I didn't say anything of the court, but equally, he kind of knows his role in all of this. I'm simply a pet stylist in training. I don't know anything, truly. There's no doubt about it now. This man is hiding something big. In which case, let's find out what he did yesterday, the day of the incident. My opponent is very good at hiding his true feelings, but not for long. It's time to smash that mask of his and see what lurks behind that phony smile. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, so much happened. Okay, well, what were you doing at the time? It looks like either or would have worked quite fine. I want to know what you were doing, Mr. Sword, in detail. I told you, I'm a pet stylist in training. And that's what I was doing yesterday. Training. Specifically, I was giving the animals a trim. You didn't notice any commotion at the time of the incident. I would imagine things were suddenly quite tumultuous around here. Well, commotion, you say? No, not really. Maybe I heard someone, but... Were they screaming or were they laughing? I'll say were they screaming because that's more on topic. You heard someone. Was this someone screaming by any chance? And don't try to tell me you don't remember. In fact, I think Ira would have done. You continue to assert that you know nothing about the incident, Mr. Sword. But I'm afraid I don't believe a word of it. The most you would have heard is someone gurgling. Ah! No, I thought I heard someone yelling, but I don't really remember. Yelling's different than screaming. The fact that he heard a scream at the time of the murder may well prove to be a useful clue. I would do well to bear it in mind. But we thought that he couldn't do anything, so we're basically putting the scream as the other person at the scene. Tell me about the day of the incident. Tell me about the day of the incident. If you really don't have anything to do with the murder, then you have nothing to hide, right? Well, the day of the incident? Oh gosh, so much happened. What were you doing? We've already asked that. Let's ask how were things in the prison. What was it like here in the prison yesterday morning? I really don't remember. I don't have the best memory, I'm afraid. Time to deploy my clue. Is it? You said you heard a scream, though. You don't remember? Please. You literally just confirmed that you heard a scream. Oh, but I might be mistaken. The truth is, I really don't remember. Your memory fails you yet again. How convenient. But I know you're lying, Mr. Sahwit. How dare you talk to me like... I mean, I'm not lying. By then? Will you wait out their temper tantrums? Look, you must know. When I'm working with the animals and I get into the zone, they're all I see. Am I to understand you have something of a talent for animal grooming then? Well, my scissor technique could use a little work, but I'd say I'm quite good with the animals. They seem to like me. I'm especially good at calming them down when they get scared. They're scared? And when exactly do they get scared? Surely it doesn't happen very often. Well, no, thankfully it doesn't. Scream has certainly frightened them. A loud scream would certainly frighten the animals, wouldn't it? Why are you going to such lengths to deny having heard the scream? What is it that you're hiding, Mr. Sahwit? Tell me! Ah! Well, that took a lot to chip away at. I can assure you I'm not hiding anything! I'll admit I did really hear somebody scream, but I'm not hiding anything, I promise! The mask is finally beginning to crack. Now to shatter it completely by asking about the scream itself in more detail. I'm afraid you're about to learn a painful lesson, Mr. Sahwit. That hiding things from me never ends well for my opponent. When did you hear the scream? Because you don't know who. When did you hear the scream? Oh, wait! Now I remember. I forgot about the show. They put on a show for us prisoners around the time of the incident, you see. Yes, performing animals, if I remember rightly. That's why I was in the morning. So now you wish to claim that you didn't hear a scream because you were at the show. You do realize that goes completely against everything you've told me so far. Well, what are you going to do about it, huh? That is, my memory is patchy, as they say. So I guess it's biting again because he made an outburst. To be honest, I do wonder if waiting and seeing is actually going to give us any proper penalty. We'd have to get it wrong on that to find out, but whenever it pops up, to be honest, it's usually correct. Like a large percentage chance you bide your time. The animal show really had to be seen to be believed. It did it? Tell me, what kind of animals did you see? Let me think. A whale? Actually, it shows up at every prompt like this. How the hell did we have a whale in a prison? Did you ride this whale? No, you weren't actually at the show, were you? Enough of your lies. You were nowhere near the show, were you? Yeah! Well, I seem to remember being there, but maybe I was, maybe I wasn't. It's clear Mr. Sahwit wasn't at the show. This feels like a vital clue. Oh, I guess who did you hear screaming then? Who did you hear screaming? Do you actually know? Wait, I just realized I made a mistake. When the incident happened, I was out in the yard, yes. So, I didn't hear anyone screaming. No one at all. Time to deploy my clue. You weren't at show. How long are you planning to keep up these lies? I already know that you weren't at the show. Yeah! The game's up, Mr. Sahwit. It's high time you told me the truth. I demand to know about the scream. Now. I can't tell you what I don't know. I didn't hear any scream. Not from the person who found the body. Okay, then. Wait, it wasn't the victim who screamed? Of course it wasn't. How curious. Most people would assume that the scream had come from the victim. Edgeworth's cleverer than me by far. So then, why do you think it came from the person who found the body, huh? Yeah, I made a mistake, that's all. How, Mr. Sahwit? How did you know that it was the person that found the body who screamed? It's because you're the one who found it. That's the only way you would. Shall I tell you? You knew because it was you who found the body. And the scream that was heard when the incident occurred didn't come from the victim. It came from you. Yeah! How did you... Ah! It's true, I admit it, but what gives you the right to treat people like this? Checkmate. Our mind chess checkmate has been obtained. Now that we've established that you were the one who found the body, Mr. Sword, I believe you have lost any standing you might have had to withhold your cooperation. Alright, you win. But I'm sure I won't have anything useful to tell you. It probably isn't even worth your time. That's not for you to decide. By my hand, the truth will be revealed. Every decision I make is to ensure that end. Except that's not exactly what we're here to do, is it? What do you mean? We're not trying to expose the truth. We're trying to save Simeon. That's what we do now, remember? We work to get our client out of trouble. Not as a prosecutor, but as a defense attorney's assistant. What the K-Meister said. You need to listen to the kid more, you know. The client has requested the services of Edgeworth & Co. And as your old man always said, your relationship with your client comes before everything else. So if you think Mr. Saint's well-being is taking a backseat to some quest for the truth, well, let's just say I don't like to fire people. So I need you to fight against your instincts a little harder, yeah? This will take some getting used to, especially because the truth in this situation isn't necessarily mutually exclusive. To, everything else, defending our client. In any case, the importance of this man's testimony remains unchanged. Therefore, Mr. Sword, I am asking once more, what happened when you found the body? Ooh, testimony. Finding the corpse. I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I'd learned. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I happened to peek in through the little window. And then I saw him lying there, a man not moving, dead. I quelled in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror. Let me get this straight. The room you were in is next to the one where the corpse was found. Yes, that's right. I was in workshop B. And you were there the whole day. Yes, from the 7 a.m. roll call onwards. There are 3 roll calls a day, you see. 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. And they check who's in the workshops during roll call, correct? That's right. Nothing was reported to be amiss at 7 a.m., which means that Knight's body wasn't in the workshop yet at that point in time. Now, 3 times a day, 7 a.m., noon, and 9 p.m. The victim's body had not been found at the time of the 7 a.m. roll call. Guess that means the murder took place after 7 a.m. Which puts it right around the time the show was happening. Ah, yes, the show. I remember the other prisoners going to see it. And therefore, anybody who wasn't at the show has no alibi. Would that be a fair assessment, Mr. Sword? I guess so, but I only found the body, I swear. There's a clear contradiction in Mr. Sword's testimony. Rooting it out should be my first priority. Time to press through the whole lot. I was in that workshop there by myself, practicing what I learned. You're not overseen by guards when you've got scissors in your pocket, is the thing that's crazy to me. Hold it! What exactly were you practicing? How to be a pet stylist, of course. I'm a model prisoner, after all. So he keeps saying. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. Oh yeah, I didn't press that one. Go back. Hold it! You found yourself there? Really? That's right, and then I found myself peeking through the little window in the door. Why did you think to do that? Gosh, I don't know. I just found myself doing it, really. You clearly weren't concentrating on your work then. No, that's not true. I'm a model prisoner. It's just all the other prisoners had gone and watched the show. I guess I was, well, kind of lonely. Like being stuck at school after everybody else has gone home, huh? Yes, exactly like that. Anyway, I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop and... See, there's a little bit wrong with this to begin with. Because these doors can't be opened, can they, by your mates? So the issue is that they open the doors if an animal is detected, so you can get out using an animal. But they raise the alarm if an inmate's bracelet is detected trying to go through the door. Prisoners are not allowed to move about freely. So he would have not been able to leave his room in the first place. So is that what we're after? Well, we'll continue to press. How about to peek him through the little window?
Hold it!
Does that mean you didn't get a good look inside? No, I couldn't. The window was not only small, but it had bars over it, you see? Not exactly a panoramic view. They're just so the guards can check what's going on, right? Well, that's right, yes. You're a very knowledgeable young lady. You bet. I guess you could say I know a little something about prisons now, too. I'll have to remind myself to address this newfound interest later. Anyway, yes, I peeked in through the little window in the workshop door. And then I saw him lying there, a man, not moving, dead!
Hold it!
Could you tell right away if it was a man or a woman? It was clearly a man. His physique, his clothes. It was also very clear that he was dead. You could tell just by peeking through the little window. Look, let's just say this wasn't my first dead body. What? You mean you're in prison for... To my eternal shame, yes? Never seen you before. This was, however, the first time I'd seen another person's handiwork up close, so... I quoted in fright and found myself screaming in sheer terror.
Hold it!
Do you recall how exactly you screamed? Any words you might have used? No. I only remember that I screamed. Hogs don't tend to remember much when they're busy crying out in terror, Miles. Exactly. So, yes, I screamed. That's all I remember. He presents himself as an innocent bystander, but nothing could be further from the truth. Given what he is, things couldn't have happened as he claims. The contradiction in his testimony is as clear as day. I just need to present the evidence that proves it. Right, but look at it then. I don't remember how, but I found myself in front of the door to the other workshop. I feel like it's either this or it's going to be the first one. But I feel like it's more that one because it presents movement given to the situation.
Objection!
Enough of these pathetic lies, Mr. Sword. I'm afraid you've rather lost sight of what you are. What I am? I know precisely what I am. I'm a former newspaper salesman who's trained to be a pet stylist.
Hold it!
Well, that's not all you are, is it? Or did you forget the bracelet you wear around your wrist? A bracelet that marks you as a prisoner, and therefore unable to move around as you please. As we both know, stepping outside that door would have sounded an alarm. Well, that's... There's no way you could have looked into the other workshop without leaving the room you were in. Ah! Ooh-wee, stylish done there, Drew. But doesn't this mean that Mr. Sahwit couldn't have found the body then? Good question, Kay. Perhaps Mr. Sahwit himself can explain. So actually, I may have forgotten to mention one very important detail. Sorry about that. I can explain exactly how I was able to see the body if you like. By all means, go ahead. Ooh. Testimonies changed fully or partially? There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm. Okay, but the doors are still quite far apart. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright. So he's saying... He was able to take a look next door because he had kept his arm inside Workshop B as he leaned out. Please don't tell anyone about our little trick, especially not the guards. Please? Is this it? Is this all he was hiding? I'd better dig a little deeper into his testimony just in case. Probably not. It's a big gap. There's a little trick we prisoners know about, you see.
Hold it!
Tell me some more about this trick, Mr. Sword. Of course. It's quite simple, really. Yeah, that was a great press. As long as you leave your bracelet inside the door, you can lean out without triggering the alarm.
Hold it!
I suppose this allows you to enjoy a little taste of freedom. It does. To be honest, it's one of the few things that brings me joy anymore. A rather surprising source of joy, but rule breaking isn't exactly a demonstration of remorsefulness, is it? Not remorselessness. Oh, but I am remorseful. I always am. I'm a model prisoner, after all. I'm beginning to suspect that he doesn't know what a model prisoner actually is. So you used this trick to peek through the window. That's right, yes. I made sure the guard wasn't looking and leaned out into the corridor. That's how I was able to peek through the window and into the workshop next door.
Hold it!
Why did you make so much of an effort just to take a look? Well, you see, I heard noises coming from next door. And that room was supposed to be empty, so I thought it was strange. And you went to look as soon as you heard these noises. Yes, of course. I had to see what was going on, so I went right away. I see. Are there any problems with what Mr. Sahwit just said? I mean, I think there's just a problem anyway. Though I can see a solution to said problem. You need an animal in the equation too, don't you? So you're not looking through the window, you're looking through the door fully. Which way were their hinges? I didn't see, but I think there's a problem. There probably is a problem. You claim that you looked into the next room as soon as you heard some noise. If that's the case, you must have seen more than just a dead body. That is a problem, yes. Because the person who made the noises should have been in there too. You've got him quaking in his boots, Mr. Edgeworth. Mr. Sahwit, tell us the truth about what you saw. You do, of course, have the right to remain silent, but it will do little to dispel the notion that you were somehow involved in this crime. I'm sorry. I did see something else, but it's too insane to believe. I really thought I might have dreamt it. That's why I wasn't sure if I should mention it. Just tell us what you saw. All right. It was that dog. And what I saw is the stuff of nightmares. That huge black dog has sunk his terrible teeth into the victim's throat. What did you just say? It was hellish. Utterly hellish. That beast, that awful beast, he killed him. Suddenly I don't feel so good. That dog's roaming free, by the way. Jeepers creepers, that's awful. Talk about traumatizing. It was dreadful, horrible. Now you know why I couldn't help but scream. So there's a man-eating dog in the prison's animal population, is there? Black dog data. Sahwit claims to have seen this dog biting the victim's throat. He doesn't seem to like me very much. Am I next on the menu? And that really is everything, I promise. You believe me, don't you? For now, this one seems too far-fetched to lie, even for you. I'd like you to append what you just told us to your testimony, if you don't mind. Very well. Yeah, the hinges of the door are correct. If an animal enters that door, then the door should be wide open, maybe. Inside, I spotted the victim's dead body, which made me scream in fright.
Hold it!
How much do you remember about the man you saw? Oh, I remember everything. Let's see. He had blonde hair, and his neck was covered in blood because he was dead. Yes, we know that, Mrs. Sahwit. Thank you very much. I'm just telling you what I saw. I thought you attorneys were obsessed with the little details. There's some serious venom behind those words. Something tells me he may not have had the best experience with defense attorneys in the past. I also saw that black dog, his mouth clamped tight around the man's throat.
Hold it!
You're sure this black dog was biting the victim's throat? Yes, there was blood everywhere. The beast's mouth was dripping with it and... Whoa! Spare us the gory details, will you? What about the victim? Was he... Ah! Don't say it! Do you really need to ask him that, Mr. Edgeworth? Oh, okay, what was that punch for? I'm on your side here. He wasn't moving at all. He was just lying there. Meaning he was already dead. There was so much blood just oozing from his neck. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger, just lifeless. Enough already. Why do you have to go into every little detail like that? To give you a nice and accurate testimony. That is what you want, isn't it? Shall I add what I've said to my testimony, Mr. Edgeworth? Please do. It was awful, I tell you. Terrible. Oh, he was dead as a doornail, I'm sure of that. Not even the twitch of a finger. Just lifeless.
Hold it!
You paint a very vivid picture. Well, I had a front row seat, I suppose. I could almost feel the agony of the poor man's final moments. I don't think I'll be getting any sleep tonight, Mr. Edgeworth. You won't? Well, that's unfortunate. Yeah, and it's all your fault for pressing in for more gory details. I'll be having nightmares tonight myself. It's all still so fresh in my memory. I remember seeing his ring gleaming as it caught the light. It featured a snowflake motif in relief.
Hold it!
A snowflake motif in relief. You seem to have a very clear memory of this ring, Mr. Sword. Well, I used to go door to door selling newspaper subscriptions, you see. I had to take people in at a glance. Their appearance, their mood, that sort of thing. Figuring out who exactly you're dealing with is the first step in any sale. Except in this case, you were figuring out a corpse. What can I say? Force of habit. One that served me very well in my sales career, if I do say so myself. Even so, you seem to have remembered things to an uncanny level of detail. I suppose. Nevertheless, it's true. I remember the ring, the relief, all of it. Is what he's saying even plausible, though? Perhaps I should take another look at the condition of the victim's body as we found it. I know what I saw, Mr. Edgeworth, and my eyes don't lie. So Knight was bitten in the throat by a dog that lives here in the prison. Not the most plausible of explanations, I have to say. Especially because technically his neck's protected by a guard that would be quite sturdy. Well, they do say the pets take after their owners. But there are some things they shouldn't take after. Not if they're supposed to help reform their owners. Otherwise, what's the point of having an animal therapy program? I should probably ask Mr. Sword a little more about this dog. So we're starting from the very start again here. But the most interesting bit is the very last statement. It wanted us to check this again. The crime scene as we saw it does not have anyone with a ring that would be visible, unless it's under that tarpaulin. That cloth on the ground could be. There's no ring on the other hand, after all. So, I guess that's our in, most likely. Presenting this to our final statement. But I think we will, of course, do that working out next episode, for every time an episode needs to end at some point in time. But the ring gleaming as it caught the light with the absolute detail makes it sound like you were really close up to the body, man. Why have you only got one glove in your apron? It's another question in of itself. So join me next time for Ace Attorney Investigations as we finish off this testimony with Frank Sahwit. I never thought I'd see him again. But we have saw it indeed. And continue on next time with our prison investigation as a defense attorney associate. I'll see you then for more. Until that time, I say bye-bye.